Hi, I'm Hunter.
And I'm Ryan.
And we are Mantis Defense. Today we're going to be reviewing the Gen 2 Deliberate Dynamic Plate Carriers.
Before we even get it really going here, I just actually wanted to mention that before I had the chance to see these in person, Hunter and I had a quick web chat trying to just discuss how we wanted to do a review on these.
Shortly after I got the delivery.
Right. And so when he held it up and showed me on the webcam, I asked him, I was like, where are the plates? And he actually told me that the plates were already in them. So I just wanted to start off, these things are very thin and very lightweight for what they are.
They're absolutely amazing.
So with that, let's start some Q&A. Alright, so Hunter, I actually wanted to ask you a little bit about what your thoughts are on a maritime carrier. I mean, this is my personal carrier, but I want to see his thoughts on like this versus something that we were running today.
I've gotten the chance to run these more than a few times. These are very common. You constantly see them go for really decent prices.
Right, yeah.
If you catch them at the right time.
Yes.
Like everything in this world, if you catch it at the right time. My feeling on these is I get claustrophobic in these.
Okay.
I honestly get claustrophobic.
A little heavy for you, maybe?
They're a little heavy. I think the amount of time it takes to get them on and off really starts to make me uncomfortable. They do have the maritime release on them,
right,
which is a tab, which is on the front of these,
right here,
that you can just yank and get it off if you fall out of a helicopter, fall off a boat, anything like that, into water.
Anything horrible, pretty much.
Yeah. You fall into water. The goal is to be able to get them off as quickly as possible.
Right.
The reason they put that in there is because they are not fun putting on and taking off in a hurry. So I've started to kind of look in other directions, which is actually how I came across Deliberate Dynamics.
Yes. I will say though, you have to compare Molle to no Molle.
Yes, that is the trade-off.
That is the trade-off, but you know, the Molle is what makes it heavy. It's what makes it where you get snags with your gear.
It also does add to the cost.
True. And what was the price point on these?
Price point on these is $120.
Okay.
Last time I checked, they have them for $100. I don't know how long that sale is going to run. So, comfort. We ran these today. We ran them in the heat. We ran them in and out of cars. We did tons of different stress tests on them,
right,
within reason. Obviously, we didn't take them out and shoot them or anything, or shoot each other in them. Comfort. Where do you rule in on these?
All right, well, to be honest, you know, you want something that's going to have a little bit more tightness to it. Something that's going to strap down nice and tight to you, but not too tight. Now, the way these work, they actually run with elastic cummerbunds, on the side.
They technically could be cummerbands.
I guess you could call it that. But they come in two sizes. Obviously, they're all stacked, so they have all the colors here. But there are two sizes. You want to explain the two sizes real fast before I get into my comfort about them?
So the two sizes, I want to say they're 2 and 4 inch. I might be wrong. You'll have to double check. They're very easy. I would say retention wise, they're very good. I ran
the thin black ones today, and he actually ran the wider ones.
The wider ones. I personally, I've tried them both now, and you tried them both as well. I am a big fan. Even though I get claustrophobic with gear like this, I still like the wider ones. That little extra retention and thickness seem to just kind of snug it against your sides a little bit more.
It honestly wasn't too much or too little. It was just the right amount. And we're both different sizes, mind you.
Yes. I'm 6 foot.
And I'm 5'5.5". So.
And I would say that these plates were by far the most comfortable plates I've put on to date.
Right, yeah.
And I would absolutely hands down say that with this elastic system, you're really removing the whole sizing, which I think in this market, sizing and fitment is a big issue.
You got to try it before you buy it with most things, you know.
And it's really hard because everything we buy today is online.
Yeah.
And with that said, I mean, it's just like different shoes from different shoe companies.
Yes. Different sizing. Someone might say it's a 9.5. No, that's an 8.
No, and the one thing that you'll always hear someone say is when you go, "Oh, what size is that?" And they go, "Oh, it's true size. It's true fit."
What's a true fit?
What is true fit? Because I've put on different types of carriers that I'm swimming. I'm absolutely
Oh, yeah.
swimming in them.
Oh, yeah.
And I have to tighten down every little bit of it to get it anywhere where I want it to be. But if I have any looseness in it, it just it makes me uncomfortable in the sense
Right.
that looseness, that little bit of gap that you have, actually can become a battering ram against your body.
And so that recoil then is just pushed right into you.
Yes.
You know, it's not actually snug against you where it should be.
Yes, because if you're running, you're going to have that just
That bouncing right back
and forth.
I mean, even with that, though, you have to think, yeah, we did jack ourselves in the face a few times today. I mean, these things were tight going over because we had them set the right way.
Yes, if you have, that's the one thing that I learned real quick. You have these on right, they feel great. They're really comfortable, they're really snug, but they are a little bit of a hassle getting them over your head.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, one quick Velcro snap on
Yep.
the top shoulder piece, which is something you can't do in
Right.
these, it fell off.
Yeah.
It fell
It's
off
perfect.
me. Coming from a quick, real quick, I did Dark
Angel, right?
Angel
Yeah,
Medical not too long ago, and one of the things that we end up going over is getting someone trauma naked, and the thing with these carriers are you can get through that real quick, and it's extremely comfortable, and I didn't see any major problems with it except that it does remove some features of Molle, and I think that's something that you might want to talk on.
Now, the Molle is actually something I would like to talk about. We were thinking of like accessories that they could do to upgrade these, maybe. You know, have a little extra add-on. And so one of the things was the cummerbund, right?
Yes.
Show them the back of your Dark Angel kit real fast.
So the back of my Dark Angel kit requires Molle.
Yeah,
There
standard.
are adapters out there. You and I have both looked at them now
Right.
that we're starting to kind of zero in on these lightweight plate carriers, and there are a few out on the market.
Yeah.
I would say as far as thinness goes, these are really unbeatable. Looking in comparison to something like Mayflower,
Right.
They have a nice lightweight plate carrier, but nowhere
Yeah, I
as
mean,
thin
these
as
things are
these.
thin.
So having some Molle on the side, I think would be nice if it's for me. And this was the big
This
thing.
is the difference right here between us.
This is I run a D3 chest rig. You know this,
fantastic, by the way.
it is a fantastic build. There are some things I'm going to be emailing
Discrepancies.
about that I feel need to be fixed in this. And if you
But
guys,
out of the chest rigs, this is the go-to chest
this
rig.
is for me. This is the go-to chest rig. But the way that it hooks into a lot of these lightweight plate carriers now is it uses
Swift clips.
Swift clips. It has two upper Swift clips on it that is really, really easy to just kind of plug and play
There you
with
go.
them. They do have Velcro on the back
Okay.
that you can remove, and it's hook and loop right to the chest. It's really useful, but with something like this, and some of the carriers out there, I don't know if they're all like this. I have to double check with some of them. If it doesn't have end-to-end Velcro,
Yes.
it will flop around. So what they've done is they've put Swift clips on the sides, female Swift clips on the sides of these that go with velocity clips. Now, the problem is these hook to Molle.
Right.
So I would like maybe one loop, two loops on the side just to secure some of this stuff that uses
Just
the
the
side.
extra option.
Just-
because here's the thing: we've been trying to explain that these are lightweight, low-vis plate carriers. Like that's the point of them. And so by having an extra strap and stuff like that's extra time wasted. That's extra movement you don't
Yes.
need. So by having the Molle, it's right there. He's already got the clips ready. He can just plug them in.
Plug them in, and they wouldn't expose that much.
Right.
But it does come down to, I guess, a textile choice and how to integrate it in there. That's the only thing that I found as an issue with these today.
I mean, personally, myself, I would like to see them change the front where it's all Velcro to make the Velcro and the Molle integrated. With that, though, they do make extra paneling that you can buy that will plug in. So I could run the same style setup with a Molle front, right?
Yes, there are Molle adapters.
Yes.
That would allow Swift clip to Molle hang, and you'd be able to put all your Molle on the bottom of that, which I think is a good option because it keeps it lightweight and
Modular. It keeps it modular.
It keeps it extremely modular.
Yeah.
the swift clip feature up on the upper part of these, it uses what's called Hypalon. It's a little bit thinner, it's a little bit lighter.
It's low profile as well.
It's very low profile. It doesn't
stick up.
It doesn't raise, which anything that raises can print.
And snag.
And snag. The Hypalon is very useful. It's pretty much it's horizontal Molle is what they've done. And you can see on this one right here, I went ahead and put the swift clips on it. The thing that I've noticed with certain cuts of this is that they went ahead and put 3. They put 3 points on it.
Which is something they should carry over.
They should carry over. I would like to see it, if they do a Gen 3 of this, I would like to see them maybe put 2 on the back,
okay,
or at least 1 on the back. The reason I say that is you have...
Oh, yeah, I do. I actually have some ITW products here. This is the Grimlock. It's a locking D-ring, and this is the Web Dominator. Now, these are both pretty much just to help strap stuff down or have extra attachment points. And so you could actually run these in that Molle that they have on the top. There's little 3 panels, and then you could actually hook stuff there. So, like, Hunter's running a...
Chameleon.
Yeah, Chameleon sling.
This Chameleon sling uses some quick hook system on it that allows you to kind of hook it onto plate carriers in a lot of different areas. A lot of plate carriers have Molle on the front and back. If this had the Grimace hooks on the front and the back, I could get that on there even
Snap
that much.
Them on the front, back, wherever you want them, you know.
I could do it that much quicker, and it would hang right where I need it to hang my AR.
Right. All right, so quick question. How about inside the waistband, though?
Inside the waistband, very doable because it is high. It covers most of your vital points, which is where you want your plates.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere else you can live, but up in your chest, I mean, that's your kill box. You're going to be down real quick. But because it is high up on you, it allows you access to your hips, to your appendix if you need. But I will say, if you're going to run appendix, don't do it in a car. The plates, when you start to kind of sit down and sit in a car, they do start to kind of crimp down on that appendix carry.
Right.
So if you're standing up, walking around with a jacket on, something like that, by all means, appendix carry. If you're going to be in a car and you normally appendix carry, there's a lot of companies that have the ability to holster a weapon in your vehicle within reach.
Yeah.
And that's something that is definitely worth looking into.
Well,
so we wanted to take a moment and talk about the colors of these.
Right.
So the current colors that they have in them are black, coyote brown, or coyote tan. It does say coyote
all
brown.
the same.
It says coyote brown on the website.
Well, actually, it's not all the same because all companies say that, but it's never the same.
Yeah. Which that brings up a topic of accessories for this. I would like to see a few other accessories put into this in matching colors released by Deliberate Dynamics. I think shoulder pads would be a nice add-on to these. Running around in these all day. The bands are a little bit thin, so maybe some shoulder pads that match for when you're going to run it not low vis.
Right, if you want to actually have the option to be able to buy it, have them, versus, oh, let me go buy it from another company, let me find something that matches, or, you know, if it'll even fit it.
Yeah. And if they could do that in each color, would be awesome. With those colors...
You also actually have to mention this sweet one over here that I like a lot.
Yes. With those colors, like I said, we have the coyote brown.
Yep.
We have black, which is very common. But we also have what Carrie from Dark Angel Medical referred to as the new hotness, because they just released their Wolf Gray. Wolf Gray is very, very, very concealable. That's kind of...
It's not common.
It's not common at all.
And so it's not where, as soon as I see someone in a black vest, I'm like, is that a bulletproof vest? Why is he wearing it?
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, oh, it's something gray, whatever. You know, it's like a shirt or a t-shirt or muscle shirt, whatever, something stupid on them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't think about it.
Yeah. There's the coyotes, the desert colors.
Yep. Very common.
Very common. When I see anybody wearing even the standard desert colored caps, I immediately assume possible military.
Right.
most likely a gun enthusiast of some sort, especially if it's got especially if it's got Velcro.
Yeah.
Velcro on it. And
Or
stuff
Molle.
like- Or Molle.
Yeah.
Backpacks
Yep.
in those colors are dead giveaways.
Yeah.
The Wolf Gray, not at all a giveaway. It's really a non-threatening color.
Right. It's very neutral. It's low profile. It's a low threat level.
Yes.
You don't
And
draw yourself attention.
much less attention drawn. With this Wolf Gray,
Right.
the thought process behind this is Arc'teryx.
Great outdoor company.
Great outdoor company. They sell a lot of stuff in, I don't know if they call it Wolf Gray, but it's
pretty much
Wolf Gray. They make fantastic stuff, and the goal is to try and blend this in with a lot of that outdoor city. Arc'teryx is everywhere, and this color really does blend in with that line of stuff, and
Okay.
I think it was a really, really good move on their part.
I mean, honestly, it is my favorite color out of all of them. But I still would like to see them add a Ranger green or something, maybe.
Yeah.
Just to have that green option. I mean, we did use all of them today, and we found that the coyote brown, like any other coyote brown, honestly, it blends in with dry brush, dead trees, like dead forestation kind of stuff. Anything like that. It's going to be harder to blend with, like, straight greens. It'll look natural if there's dead stuff with it, but if you're standing in the middle of a green field, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb.
Yes.
And, we don't really want to see, what is it, multicam?
There's a lot of companies doing
That already offer
multicam.
multicam. There's no real need for it.
Yeah, and given that these are low profile carriers, my feeling is that by keeping it in solid colors, once again it draws less attention to it.
Yeah.
Because if you're wearing it under something and it's a solid color, it could always just be a t-shirt. These three colors do have multiple options,
Right, which is awesome.
which is very, very cool. Because they went with this elastic system, you're not focused on sizing, as we mentioned earlier.
Right, I mean, like, we did run these plates in my carrier,
Yes.
and they were fine, but, like, they fit, obviously, perfect in those, because they're made for it. They're made specifically for 3 different types of cuts, right?
Yes, for 3 different types of cuts. They have the velocity plates, which, for me,
Stupid thin.
amazing. Those are definitely hands down, my opinion, for low profile. If you're going to do this, you have the coin to spend. Do that. You can't get anything.
I mean, they're
than that.
multi-curved. They're fit perfectly snug,
Yeah. The other two is 10 by 12 Sappy
Yep.
and 10 by 12 Shooter
Yep.
cuts. And what they've opted to do is, since you have that bungee to kind of really do fitting size-wise, it allows them to really, your selection, when you go on there, you don't pick small, medium, large. You pick the shooting, the type of plates you
So you
use.
need to get your plates first. So by choosing your plates, you can essentially pick what carrier you want to go with it.
Yes.
Versus it being like, oh, I have a carrier, but now I need to find a plate to fit it.
So if you have one of those plates already on hand, Sappy is extremely common.
Yep.
And with the Sappy already around and available, if you need a low profile carrier, double check the measurements,
Yep.
order it. It will go in. There is no sliding around. There is
no slosh.
There's no slosh.
Yeah.
There is no pulling of that extra elastic. No, it's a Cordura or nylon band. A lot of these carriers now that you have to pull up all the way to the top and tighten and then press down to make them snug.
Yeah.
These were like gloves. I mean, you had to really slide them in there, give it a nice tough slide to get it in.
Right, and even on the back of them, though, like, there wasn't anything on there, really, to make it so it was uncomfortable pressing against your skin.
Yes.
Like, I'm saying on the actual inside of the carrier. The plates are smooth. So once you put the plate in, then you just have to worry about the carrier itself.
Yeah.
And so the carrier being completely smooth on the inside, it fit very nicely, We had no problems wearing them.
Yeah.
I personally like the ceramic plates, by the way.
Yeah.
That we tested.
The ceramic plates are stupid light.
Yes.
I leaned more towards the velocity, just because you can't beat how thin those are.
Right. And I mean, hey, there's nothing wrong with the AR500. We had one of those plates as well, and we liked it too. So
yeah,
there's nothing wrong with it. It really comes down to personal preference. And so with these carriers, it really does allow you to have that option, though. of personal preference across the board completely.
I would like to see, there are a few other cuts out there.
Okay.
I would like to see those kind of picked up by Deliberate Dynamics over time. I really like where they're going with this. If they have a Gen 3, I'll be first in line to pick it up.
Yeah, I might be joining that train too.
Yeah. When it comes to the plate cuts, I obviously like the velocity because of how thin they were.
Right.
You ran Sappy today.
Yep.
You ran them in and out of a car.
Yes, I did.
In heat.
Not
in the blazing
comfortable.
sun.
Not comfortable.
He was very nice to do these photos for us. What were your feelings on printing, comfort? How did
These
it do
things
as
are
a low
very
vis?
important, by the way. These are very important if you're going to do a low vis.
Yes.
And so, really, it's the first thing is you have to have no printing. Minimal printing.
Minimal printing.
At the most. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not like you can get away with having printing, because as soon as you have the printing, everyone knows what you're doing.
Yes.
It's the same with a concealed carry. It's the same thing. You know, like you don't want printing because then what's the point of having it?
Yeah. The moment you bend over for what's on the bottom shelf,
Right.
and you have the the Glock handle outlined in the back of your
Yeah, we
in the
know
back of
what
your
you
shirt,
have.
we know what you have.
Yeah. So by running this as low vis, we actually did a test today. We ran separate setups today just because we both like different things. But I ran the black plates, or the black plate carrier under my jacket. And first I tried a hoodie, but the hoodie itself was giving me printing from the corners of the plates, which will happen. You know, it's going to happen with anything, especially when hoodies are a little bit tighter up here on the cuts.
And that's going to be standard on a lot of these Sappy plates because
Right.
they do run them a little bit thicker.
And I think the velocity plates might actually be able to get away with that.
They might be able to get away with that because the cut on the top of them is a little bit steeper towards
Right.
your chest. But if you already have Sappy plates, don't
Don't be discouraged, because I was actually able to run a heavier jacket.
slightly heavier.
Slightly
when,
heavier.
When we say heavier jacket, it
We're
was
talking like a soft shell jacket here.
yes.
So yeah, it was hot, long sleeves in a car, not fun, but I was able to do it. And so we put the carrier on, we put the plate carrier on first, and then we put the jacket over just to see, hey, if this thing's gonna hide in here or not. Sure enough, the color itself worked perfectly with it being black.
Underneath gray.
It's like
off
a
color
light gray.
Jacket. It looked like a t-shirt.
Yeah.
It looked like he was wearing a t-shirt.
Yeah, I wore a black
underneath it.
t-shirt underneath just to help it, just to see, if we could kind of help it in that direction. And really, the only notice was the strap here, but with the black t-shirt, it blends right back in.
Yeah.
And so, it might be harder to get something like a gray t-shirt to match the wolf gray, but with the black, it was definitely easily concealable.
Yes.
Minimal printing. In the back, you couldn't see it, and that's very important, obviously. All right, so this is actually something I want to talk about. These are, what are these? Blue Force?
Blue Force gear.
Yeah, they're called like Dapper pouches, and they're for your AR. Mind you, we did try to stick an AK mag in it. Doesn't fit. But, I mean, it says it's for an AR, so you probably should just think, don't be stupid.
Yeah. Which, by the way, before you continue,
Yeah.
this is the recommended
Attachment, yeah.
attachment, the recommended carrier for these deliberate dynamic plate carriers. You actually, at the very bottom, there is a third option. It's a checkbox.
Yeah.
It's not a choice. It's really a yes or no. Do you want these for the additional price of whatever it is? Was not expensive at all. Initially, my thought on it was, no, thank you. I do not want this. After getting our hands on it and running this with this plate carrier, completely different review. And I'll let you go ahead and talk about that.
I mean, let's be serious here. It's Velcro. Mind you, it is Velcro on the whole back of it, which is sweet. But it's Velcro, dude. Like, it's Velcro. And what, elastic?
Yes.
I'm not trusting that. I was completely swayed today, and I would definitely recommend buying this. And I'm not that kind of person normally, but I really would.
Yeah.
The way this works is with a Velcro on the front or the back of the carrier, this is pretty much just an emergency go-to. Low vis, doesn't stick out like any other chest rig. Just put it where you want it. Put it in a bag. You can put it in a laptop case. You can put it in the door of the car. As soon as you pull it out, just slap it on, you're good to go. Best part is, we actually did a test today. We ran them upside down because I like to run fast mags in a position so I can do a speed reload by just yanking down. So with this, we actually ran them down, and I tried jumping, I tried running a little bit with it. They stayed in place very firmly.
Yes. Which, before you go on,
Yeah.
I then took them off and proceeded to try and shake them out because I didn't believe what he was telling me. After putting them back on, running a few more tests, we realized, well, if they hold in so well, why not try them in a few more locations? So we went ahead and actually put them on his back.
Yep.
And we turned them upside down because they're too far out of the way over the top. But upside down, they're very easy to grab. This is not a carrier you want to try and reload when you're done using it.
The elastic is extremely tight.
Yes, which is what makes it work.
Right, and that's what makes this work. It has to be tight. Now, if this was actually any looser or any sloppier, I guess, if it wasn't made to this quality, it really would not work. Now, if you're running a heavier chest rig that's just Velcro, it's going to flop.
Yes.
This being as thin as it is, works this way because it only holds 3 mags, and it's very thin. I mean, they could probably make one for handguns. That'll probably work too, but really, you're probably going to run your mags on your hip at that point.
I actually think that they have a whole line of Dapper,
do they?
Dapper options.
Okay, awesome. Well,
Which
I don't do the modular thing, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, which will all work with the Velcro on these
Right.
Deliberate Dynamics carriers.
So, I mean, we did test it with P mags and regular steel AR mags. We just wanted to see, what it's going to hold. Now, obviously, the P mag's going to have a little bit more of a rib to it. It's going to stay, but these actually did stay in pretty well.
Yes.
Even with the weight.
Yes.
Because, I mean, honestly, anytime you add weight to anything, you have a chance of it falling out. Go ahead and pull it out.
Let go for a sec.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But go ahead and yank it out. Comes out real easy. So obviously it's for kind of like a mag dump or speed load. You're not going to be able to do a tactical reload with these. But the best part is it really doesn't matter where you put this.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Because we did a drill where I sat in the car with my jacket on. I had the carrier underneath. Had this in the door. Had my gun on the passenger seat, or tucked down, I guess you could say. And so pretty much it was being able to get out of the car and get that gun up and running if I needed to.
Yeah.
So I was able to unzip the jacket, grab this, just slap it on. And mind you, my first slap was not good. Like, this thing was like at a weird angle, whatever way it was. But guess what? It stayed. It stayed firmly because of the amount of Velcro that's on here. And so it actually seated itself good enough so that I could keep it here and grab the gun and get out of the vehicle at the same time. Do a search and assess and be able to actually get a mag up if I needed to. Because, it's ready to rock.
Yeah.
Alright guys, so that wraps up our tabletop review and pretty much our everything about this Gen 2 plate carrier from Deliberate Dynamics.
We hope that you found it very informative. We love to try and help out and answer as many questions as possible. Feel free to put comments in below. Subscribe, follow any of our links. If you've seen anything here that you are interested in, me and Ryan have no problems answering any questions on it, and we can do a review on it.
Yeah, we're actually going to do some more reviews on some of the gear we have here. We just, trying to keep it consolidated.
Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed this.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Hunter.
And we are Mantis Defense.